Hi, my name's Michael. So this is VisualInk, and this series of videos is going to be a brief introduction to VisualInk and how you can build visual novels with it. So this is what you'll see when you first sign up for the website. And all of our visual novels are comprised of a number of things. They have a script, which is the story and how you can interact with it. Speakers are the images of the characters in your story. Scenes are the backdrops, like you would have a scene in a film. And obviously, music covers both background music, also sound effects. We'll get to those. So, how do you write your script? Well, a bit like you'd write a script for a film. So, if you click on the scripts thing here, you can see that we've got a list of scripts. I'm going to start a new script, and I'm going to start with the blank template. And actually, I'm going to delete all of this to begin with and show you just a few things. So the first thing is that most things in Ink, which is the language we are writing, the computer language we are writing our script in, are just bits of your story. So we can have a story that just says, hello, it's not the world's most exciting story. If we run that, then we will see that we have a story which just has the one line, hello. If we put another line of dialogue, then as normally for a script in something like a movie, each line is a separate piece of dialogue. And so if I run this, we get hello, and then we go say goodbye. That's not terribly exciting yet. And you might be thinking that doesn't look very much like a visual novel. And you are correct, which is where you saw some of the other things that were in the blank template to begin with. Because ink, as well as being a way that you can write your story, is a way that you can include instructions to the computer in your story. And for VisualInk specifically, you can use ink in other places, but for VisualInk specifically, we have three specific things that control which character is being shown and is currently speaking, which scene they're in, and what music is playing at this point in the story. And the way we do that is we set up what's called variables in ink. And the first thing we have to do is we have to declare them. So I'm going to say that there is a variable called speaker, and I'm going to start and say that if we haven't specified anyone else is speaking, the narrator is speaking. Now that we have declared that the speaker variable exists, which the template does for you, then we can use this button here to change who's speaking. So I can say it's actually Eddie who is saying hello, and then Eddie says some more. So this will still be Eddie. And then we can change the speaker here to be Ellie. And if now I run this, we'll see that we can see that Eddie is the person talking. Oops, sorry. And then Ellie is the one who responds, and the picture changes and everything works nicely. And we can do the same thing for the scene. So scene, I'm just going to leave that blank to begin with. We'll set the scene in a moment. Music. And again, we can set this up. So we can say that this scene is actually happening in a cafe, that Eddie and Ellie are talking to each other. And we can say that there is piano music playing in the cafe. And if I then run this, we'll see that Eddie is saying hello. Eddie says some more. And Ellie says goodbye. And that's the basics of how we write a linear story in ink with VisualInk, in VisualInk with ink, having all of the nice things we want in our visual novel, like images and settings and background music. Now, there's more we can do with all of these, but I'm going to leave this video here as just an introduction that you can play with and get your story going.